Hi, I'm Jenna Sadaka, and welcome to the To Be Shvat Yoga Flow. So, just as a little background, Tu B'Shvat is the new year for the trees in the Jewish calendar, celebrating the ascension of the Seraph, the Hebrew word for sap, up the tree, infusing the tree with a renewed life force. Tu B'Shvat is when the trees begin to awaken from the death and the coldness of winter. It's really the earth's beginning of health and healing and wakefulness. So the seraph in the heart of the tree also sweetens the tree's waters and reveals itself into an expression. So for the trees, the expression is fruit. For us, it's some sort of breakthrough, whether that be an imagination or an insight of some sort, a word or a phrase that comes to you, or an action, a breaking of patterns. And the lesson of the trees is that the more rooted we are, the more we can rise and express our truest potential through a place of rootedness. It says in Devarim, man is a tree of the fields. And we both share this process of going from a seed to a trunk, growing branches, and expressing through fruit. And we're going to resemble this process today in our yoga flow. What's so beautiful about yoga and trees is that our breathing actually meshes with the breathing of trees in this intimate exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Also, our respiratory system actually looks like an upside down tree. How awesome is that? Some scientists even say that we share up to 50% of the same DNA as trees do. And something we'll be celebrating today in yoga is another similarity that trees and us both have an upright posture. We have a vertical spine. One beautiful message of trees is this message of seasonal cycling, just like our Jewish calendar also has. So spring represents new life, and then we come into summer, which is celebrating expression and light. And then fall is really the fruition and letting go. And this time of winter, which is more of an inwards focus, hibernation, and restful type of energy. And all of these seasonal contexts are also woven into the human spirit. So let's get started. If you have the ability, I encourage you to practice this yoga flow outside with the trees. But wherever you are, let's unroll your mat and let's get started. So we're going to start in seed pose to resemble the process of a tree's growth. So instead of knees wide like we're used to for extended child's pose, bring the knees together. We're sitting on the heels and forehead kisses the earth. Palms are open to the sky, and you'll drape the shoulders away from the spine. Forearms resting on the ground, heart supported by the knees, and belly is soft. So we're establishing this initial contact with the earth through the third eye center. We honor and appreciate the earth beneath us. And the word for earth in Hebrew is Adamah, which is related to Edemah, which means imagination. So when we connect to the earth, when we ground and plant seeds in the earth, we can express our higher vision, our higher imagination. So it starts with the earth beneath us. So soften a little bit more into the ground, letting the shoulders drop to the ground. And then as if we're drinking up from our third eye center, bring in wisdom, appreciation from the earth through the third eye, that space between the brows. And as if you're bringing it into the body, draw it up to the back of the skull. down the neck, down the spine, into the hips, and then around into the front belly. And start breathing full inhales and full exhales. Full breaths. Two more breaths. Softening a little bit more where you can. And we'll slowly roll all the way up. As if we're coming up to seedling stage. So our hips are over the heels. Draw the hands to the top of the thighs. Press them down. And the shoulders will roll back and down the length of the back. Bringing some extra room between the shoulders and the ears, lengthening through the crown. And from here, we're going to bend from the hip crease. Dip the forehead to the mat, briefly drinking up from the ground through the third eye, and then rippling the spine back and forward. Few more like this. And we'll meet in center. Hands come forward. We're going to stay at the top of the feet and draw the knees up to the chest. Press through the hands. Bring it down and slide the hands up. So slide it forward, knees lift. Dip the crown of the head. Bring it down, slide forward. Keep going at your own pace. Starting to engage the core, the tops of the feet, activating the legs. Two more like this. Great, and we'll come back to seated. We'll rock the hips to the right side of the feet. Draw that left leg up and over, setting up for a twist. So hug that knee to the chest, left arm comes up and around. Pads of the fingertips rest on the earth. Perhaps we gaze over the left shoulder. Keep planting through those sit bones. As you lift through the crown, exhale to deepen further into your twist. So the saraf, the tree sap that arises on Tu B'Shvat, is said to be the heart and the sweetness of the tree. So sit with this feeling of a sweet nectar heart, as if the tree sap, the saraf, is arising and circling in the heart space. Two more breaths here. And bring the feet parallel across the body, knees stack. Walk the fingertips forward. Rest the heart on the knees, dip to the ground. So find your sit bones connected with the earth. Maybe soften forearms to the ground or reach the hands forward. Notice the texture of the breath, the directionality of the breath. Where can we bring more fullness into our inhales? And how can we lengthen our exhales? And we'll walk the hands back up. And we're going to do a fancy little twist to the outside. Hands come forward. Come on up. We're going to twist right into the other side. So it doesn't matter how clumsy or how graceful that twist was. Just have fun with it. Coming right into the other side, right hand comes up and over. Heart continues to press towards the knee and swivel to the right. So hand can be around the thigh or hook in front of the knee. And bring that awareness of the sweet nectar heart. Two more breaths here. And we'll come on forward, knees stack. Bring the feet on either side of the body. Either press the hands into the ankles or walk the hands forward. Bowing as an act of humility to the ground beneath us. This Adama that is so richly endowed with so many blessings, so much abundance. Peel the heart off the upper legs and walk the hands back. Bring the knees together and lengthen them in front of you, flexing the toes, so curling the toes towards the heart. Inhale, we'll lengthen the side body, reach, and exhale, we'll fold forward. Let's start to draw the heart towards the toes to lengthen. And then exhale, fold forward to deepen. So inhale, we lengthen. And exhale, we deepen. Tu B'Shvat also marks the transition from the cold winter months to the more extroverted, social, warm, sunny months. It's that awakening of the natural world. And we too began to transition from a more inward-focused journey to starting to have relations with the external world. 2 more breaths like this. And we'll start to walk the hands up the legs, giving them a massage on the way, because why not? And bringing the knees in and out, we'll set up for Malasana. So hands to heart center. Press the elbows into the knees to open and widen. If your heels don't touch the ground, you can roll up a blanket or scarf or whatever you have under the heels. And start to sink the sit bones down as you open the knees wide, crown of the head lifts. You can stay here, or we'll take a bind to the left. So left hand comes around the left leg, right arm reaches up and over. Gaze over the right shoulder. We'll start to expand our breaths. So on the inhale, breathe, belly, top of the belly, chest. And on the exhale, chest, top of the belly, lower belly. Keep going with this cycle. Inhale, belly, top of the belly, chest. And exhale, chest, top of the belly, lower belly. Hmm. And if you're in a side bind, we'll come back to center. Lift the crown and then bind to the other side. So right hand wraps around. Maybe hook your hands, or if you have a scarf or something to hold. And then open to the left. Keeping with that breath of inhaling belly, top of the belly, chest, and exhaling chest, top of the belly, lower belly. It's actually beautiful, the relationship that we have with trees that extends even to our breathing, a very intimate breathing cycle of oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange with the trees. Come back to center, hands to the heart. And even more so, our respiratory system is shaped like a upside down tree. So keep activating this breath, maybe even visualizing the tree within you, the respiratory system, or the exchange of every breath between us and the tree. And we'll bring the hands forward, feet come parallel, and we'll lift the hips, forward fold, bend the knees, hands rest on the ground. Release the spine, crown of the head dips to the mat. And maybe we'll start to rock right and left. From forward fold, we're going to start to roll up slowly, bringing the breath up the spine as we come all the way up to mountain pose. And today we're actually going to call it trunk pose. The trunk is the bare bone, the structure of the tree. So starting to check in with the physical body. What is arising now in the physical or emotional body? How am I feeling in this moment? Where in the body is there stuckness and tightness? And where in the body feels open and alive? And then we'll bring awareness to the soles of the feet. So spread the toes, plant them down, and notice what is arising that is alive and present. And as if you're sending energetic roots down into the earth, plant all corners of your feet. And just visualize those roots coming down from the soles of the feet. You can even say the word Adama and feel the sounds of that in the body. I am connected, I am rooted, I am present. Breathe in this connectedness. And from here, we're going to imagine through the right side of the body, we're drawing up that saraf, that tree sap from the ground. So we'll start to roll into that ankle. And however you want to visualize the sap, or maybe you want to envision water kind of circling around the joints, giving it some life, waking it up from the winter. And then drawing it up the leg into the knee, circling up the knee. And then drawing it up through the thigh and the hip. The hip center of water. And then from the hip up the side body into the shoulder. Nourishing, lubricating every joint, every cell. And then even up the elbow into the wrist and the fingers. So letting it go, letting it all go. Maybe bring it into the neck. Maybe we look silly. I definitely do, and that's okay. It's the nourishment and the water element that arises from the winter. And from here, we'll draw the inner foot up the side of the leg. Maybe it stops under the knee, maybe over the knee. Coming into our first tree pose, which I'm sure you were all expecting. So try not to dump the weight into the left hip. We're gonna lift through the right hip, so hips are parallel. Keep on sending those energetic roots down. And then maybe hands come to the heart center. Maybe you want to keep them on the hips, up to you. You can lock your gaze, soften the face, widen through that right hip. From here, you can grow your branches. Find your own creative branches, whether it be out wide. Maybe you want to interlace your hands, press them down for a heart opener. Maybe you want to do eagle arms. Whatever is your expression, find your branches. You can move them around, find stillness, whatever your tree expression is today. And bring the hands back to the hips. Knee will come forward and we'll come into a forward fold. Coming back to our roots. Just imagining how many roots are below my hands. What their story is, what's their history. Last breath cycle, and we'll roll all the way up, back to our mountain trunk pose, and we'll come to the left side of the body. So we're starting to circle through that left ankle, bringing the giraffe up through the ankle, into the knee, up through the top of the thigh, into the hips, side body, shoulder, into the elbow and wrist, fingertips, washing the whole left body with a renewal. Then hand comes onto the hips. Swivel the knee out to the left, and then slide that left ankle below the knee or above the knee. Coming into tree on the other side. Hands can be on the hips or heart center. Find your balance. Send those energetic roots from the foot down into the earth. And then root to rise. When you feel rooted, you can extend your branches however you wish. So find your expression. Keep breathing, full breath. Wherever your branches are, bring them to the waist. And then slide that left foot down to the mat. Forward fold. We're going to go into a little flow. On the bottom of the exhale, we'll start to roll up. Inhale, float that right leg up to tree. Maybe through your branches or just stay at the waist. And we'll keep flowing to forward fold. On the exhale and the inhale into tree. So you can go as slow or as fast as you want, as long as you're following your breath. You can change up your branch expressions. And we're playing with these two spaces of our roots and our expression. Really exploring that Adama relationship. And these spaces suggest that the more rooted we are, we can actually express ourselves with greater creativity, knowing that it's coming from a deep place of truth. Which is why the tree of life and the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden were actually one, and the only difference was the tree of life had roots and the tree of knowledge did not have roots. How can we express our greatest fruits from a place of true rootedness? Wherever you find your roots, whether it's your traditions, your ancestors, a sense of place, belonging. Keep going with this flow for a few more breath cycles. Last one. We'll meet back in our trunk. We'll inhale the hands up to the sky. Lengthen the side body. Exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale to flat back. Hands slide up the shins or top of the thighs. And then step back into plank. So pressing through those heels, lifting the core, and pressing through the palms. Lift the thighs a little bit, really activating the back of the leg. And from plank, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale to upward facing dog. Curl the heart forward. Shoulder blades pull together. And exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Heart presses towards the thighs. Energetically pull the hands and feet away from each other. 2 more breaths here. Feeling that energy rise from the hands and feet. And then inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Top of the thigh faces down. Look between the hands and step that right foot forward. So we're setting up for high lunge. We're going to inhale the hands up to standing. Energize the palms, widen the collarbone. Exhale, float the hands down. Knee is going to come into the body. Engage that right glute. Exhale, step it back. Float the hands up. Keep flowing like this. Hands come down. Knee, bring it in. Exhale to step it back and float the hands up. So keep going between these two spaces. Exploring this relationship with the ground, rooting in the feet to rise through the hands. Last one, and we'll meet in high lunge. So widening through the collarbones, but at the same time drawing the belly button in and up. From here, we'll deepen into that right leg as you lift through the fingertips. Press that left thigh back. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hands come on the hips. Shift the weight into the right foot and we'll lift, bringing the knee up to the center. And then place that foot on the inner right thigh or below the knee. Your tree pose. Take a moment here in tree. And then you're going to shift that knee forward. Extend the left leg behind you, setting up for warrior three. So hands come to the heart, or you can extend the arms out wide or in front of the head. Whatever is your expression. Left thigh faces the ground, sturdy through that right leg. And powering the glute all the way down into the ankle. Last breath here. And then hands come to the ground, standing splits. So heart reaches towards that right thigh, press through the glute into the heel. Stay right here or bend the knee and hold on to that left foot. If you're holding onto the foot, kick into the hands. Extend, open. Last breath. And release that left hand. Bring that left foot behind the right. Forward fold with the legs crossed. Maybe feeling that opening through the left hip. Notice how every breath can heal, can rejuvenate. Bring the feet parallel, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, hands to the shins or the tops of the thighs. Roll the shoulders back away from the ears, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, sweep the hands down the legs, hands to the mat. Step back into plank. Lifting the front body to the back body as you press through the heels. Tops of the thighs lift. And exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tops of the feet are soft on the ground. And exhale, downward facing dog. Notice how this posture shifts awareness. What area of the body is asking for your loving kindness? What area of the body is beckoning for your breath and intention? Last exhale and float the left leg up to the sky. Press into that right heel. Look between the hands and step that left foot between the hands. So finding connection through the feet. And once your feet are rooted, inhale, high lunge. Press that right thigh back, deepen into the front leg. Inhale to lift. Exhale, float the hands down. Right knee comes in. Exhale, step it back. Lift. Keep going between these two spaces. Really energizing through that whole left thigh and glute. When the right knee comes in, curl the heart towards the center. Two more like this. And from here, sink deeper into that left leg. Bring the hands to the waist, deepen into that front leg, press the top thigh back, and then shift the weight into the left foot and lift. Right knee comes up to the chest. Open the knee to the right side, and then press that foot to the inner thigh or below the knee. And as you push into the leg energizes back through the foot. So keep that dynamic relationship between foot and leg. Hips are parallel, and sit in this sweet moment, the center of the heart. Scanning the body from the roots, from the sole of the feet, all the way up the body, through the crown. 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Slide the right knee forward. Float the right leg back, coming into Warrior 3. So fix your gaze in front of you for balance. Top of the thigh rotates towards the ground. Crown of the head reaches forward. Stay right here, or open the arms wide or in front of you. Last breath, and then bring the hands down to the mat. Standing split. Continue to press the heart towards the thighs as you lift that right leg up. Stay right here, or bend the knee, shift into that left hand, hold on to the right foot. Soften the gaze, keep breathing, and sending the power through the glute down through the leg. Release the foot if you're holding it. Hand comes to the ground, right leg steps behind the left, forward fold. Try to sink the weight evenly between the right and left foot. On the inhale, we bring in new life, new energy, new spirit into the breath. On every exhale, we release anything stuck or heavy. Unwind that right leg, so bring the feet parallel. Bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, we'll roll all the way up to standing. Hands come to the sky. And exhale, float the hands over the heart. Inhale, hands come to the sky. growing the tree to the heavens. And exhale, hands come to the sacrum. Push into the sacrum as the pelvis rocks forward. Open the heart. Tips of the elbows pull together. Throat opens. And bring those hands from the sacrum over the glutes, back of the thighs, back of the legs, and then step back into plank. Press through the heels, and then chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. We'll inhale on the upward facing dog, tops of the feet on the ground, curl the heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. So keep breathing in this down dog. And the science of yoga is the science of being over doing. Just like the letters for this month of Shevat spell out Shabbat, which is this place of being. So with each inhale, how can we approach this moment in this realm of being? Just being open to the full experience of this moment. Empty out the exhale, and from down dog, we'll inhale the right leg lifts to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hips, look under that right forearm. Maybe circle the ankles. And then bring the top of the thigh down. We'll hover the right foot over the left. Bring it up to the right and back up to the sky. So floating the foot in these wide circles. 2 more circles. And then step that right foot between the hands. Plant that left hand down, float the right hand up to the sky. Energize that right palm, press through that left ankle. Exhale, float the hand down. And we'll bring the right hand on the inside. And we'll walk the hands to center, wide-legged forward fold. So we'll walk the hands forward and press the hips back. So it says, Torah is a tree of life for all those who hold on to it. I'm sure you all know the song. So what does it mean to hold on to something? Where in life are we gripping and controlling and can really let go? And where in life do we hold something precious and protect it and savor and honor it? We'll walk the hands under the hips. Hands come on the hips. Come all the way up to standing and step to the front of the mat. Inhale, raise the hands to the sky. Exhale, hands come onto the sacrum. Press the hips forward. Heart opener. Tips of the elbows pull in. And then float the hands down the back of the legs to the mat. Come back into plank, pressing through the heels. Front body lifts to back body. Lower to the ground, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left flag lifts to the sky. Bend that knee, open the left hip. Gaze under the right forearm, or the left forearm, excuse me. Maybe circle the ankle. Then straighten the leg, top of the thigh faces down. Float the foot down, out to the left, and back up. Keep going, circling. Engaging that outer left leg. Powering up through the core. 3 more circles. And then look between the hands, step that left foot between the hands. Right hand plants to the mat. Peel the left arm up and over. Maybe bring it over the ear or keep extending up towards the sky. Exhale to bring the hand down to the inner foot. And walk the hands to the middle. Swivel the left foot forward so toes are tucked in and the ankles are wider than the toes. Walk the hands forward. Sink the sit bones back. Walk the fingertips a little bit more forward. Keep sinking the hips back. Keep breathing the full length of the spine. Bringing awareness into the back of the heart. Sending breath to the back of the heart. Where in life can we let go and surrender just a little bit? Lighten our load. Release control. And we'll start to walk the hands to the hips. Engage the legs as you come all the way up to standing. Swivel the feet forward. Come to the top of the mat. Hands rest on heart center. We'll interlace the hands, press them forward and to the sky. Pressing through the feet and up through the bottom of the fingers. And then exhale, float the hands to the sides. Again, interlace, inhale forward and up, and exhale, let it go. Keep going, 2 more times like this. Last one. This time we'll inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Stepping back into plank. This is our last plank, so give it your all. Find that core, that sun center. Feeling your strength, your power, and then lower all the way to the ground. Forehead comes onto the mat, or palms can stack on each other, and you can rest the forehead on your hands. Feeling the heart supported by the ground beneath you. Letting the whole front body soften into the earth. And we're resting on all of our ancestors, all beings that walked before us. that are now buried and part of this earth. And we forget this while we're busy through our day, but we are walking on the wisdom of our ancestors, the wisdom of all beings before us. So from here, we'll bring the hands to the side of the body. We'll lift up into upward facing dog. And we'll exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, we're going to raise the right leg to the sky. And then right knee is going to come to the outer right wrist. Rest it down. Left foot is flexed, setting up for pigeon. You may want to bring a blanket or a pillow under that right thigh if you need extra support. Rock the top of the pelvis forward. So imagine if it was a bowl of water, it was spilling forward to the ground. Stay right here on the palms or walk onto your forearms. And if you want to go deeper, you can bring the forehead to the mat or to your forearms. Rest the shoulders away from the ears. And we enter into the hips. The hips are the water center. And the tree of life reminds us to access our deep reserves of water. So where in life can we infuse more of our day with our life-giving creativity? And how can we tap into these reserves of water and nourishment and creativity within us? So deepen into this water center. We'll rest here for a few more breaths. And we'll walk the hands up. We'll come back into a twist. The left leg reaches up and over. Pull the heart in, twist to the left. What is blossoming in the heart today? Maybe it's a word, maybe it's a phrase, an image. What is your fruit of expression?
Option to lift the left arm into tree branch, wave the fingers, hands come to the front and extend the left foot back. Lift hips to downward facing dog. And notice the symmetry or asymmetry of the left and right body.
And we'll float the left leg to the sky. Left knee comes to the outer left wrist. Shuffle that foot as parallel as you can. Might not come all the way. Top of the pelvis rocks forward. Come into the juiciness of the hips. And you can stay right here. Come onto the forearms or a bolster if you have one. Or forehead rests on the mat. Breathe into this hip center. notice whatever is arising right now. Welcoming the full array of your experience in the moment. No matter how pleasant and joyful or how miserable or anywhere you are on the spectrum may be, we observe, we acknowledge, and we welcome the full array of experience. And we'll walk the hands up, lift the heart, back knee lifts up and over the knee, hug it towards the body, twist back to the right side. Left arm as a tree, or hug around the top thigh. And again, noticing the body, where are you gripping? Where can you soften and let go? Maybe it's between the brows, a tug in the back of the heart. Where can we show up for ourselves with more loving kindness, more compassion, holding ourselves like we would a child? And we'll face forward, extend that right leg back behind you, and lift back to downward facing dog. Our last down dog of the evening or morning, whatever it is for you. So breathe in the fullness of this practice, of this body. We'll look between the hands, we'll hop or jump forward, and we'll come on to our backs. And just as we began as a seed, we also end as a seed, this time on our backs. Bringing awareness to every corner of the back that presses into the earth. As if the back body is the support system, the nutrients, and the front body is our expression. Bring awareness between these two spaces of the front and back body. Noticing how they support each other, how they intermingle, how they communicate. And then keep the back rooted as you extend the arms and legs up, like we're growing a plant in a meadow. Just move as if this plant is blowing in the wind, however it feels natural to you. Circling the wrists and ankles, swaying back and forth. As if you're looking up into this tall field. And keep drawing life from the back body up into this extension. And then draw knees back into chest. Give yourself a hug. And find that center plane between the front and back body, that very center point. And from that center point, extend out wide into our final resting posture. So bringing awareness into the back of the heart. And And imagining this back of the heart space as an earthy green field of grass. So visualizing your entire back space as moist, rich soil. And this field
Start
of the
to
back of the
wiggle the
heart
feet.
starts to expand to the ground beneath and beside you, a wide, grassy expanse. And as if seeds are being planted in this space where the moist back of the heart meets the ground, imagine a blossoming of some sorts. Maybe flowers, plants, up through the heart, brushing at the top of the heart and widening up the collarbones. What does it feel like to host a renewed heart? Those places that are stuck, are jaded or rotten, bring flowers of renewal there. And just like the trees on Tu B'Shvat, we are renewing through the inner sap of life. Start to wiggle the feet and ankles and toes, and then bring the bottom of the feet to the mat. And roll onto that right side, cradle the head in the arm, setting the hand down. As if we're just being planted in this earth. What do we want to bring into our day? Bringing it in from the ground, letting it soak up through the body, and then pushing ourselves up into a seated posture. Hands to heart center. And we'll gently bow to the earth and thank Hashem, thank the creator of the universe for infusing this earth with a renewed life force and constant godly energy and abundance and blessing in this ground beneath us. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you are looking for more Jewish yoga content or have any comments, questions, or want to leave me any feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Visit www.breathandsoul.net. Hope we can practice together again soon. Happy Tu B'Shvat.